Good evening. Evening, Carl Steele. Thank you for the follow, mate. Magnetex. Evening, Callum. Apologies for missing round one, which seems to be like a bit of a decent race for people. Hi, Delta. How are you, mate? Hopefully you've recovered from your week holiday. Hi, Rump. Yeah, mate. So we're up to round 2 of 11 of DTS in Verstappen tier, which is lower of the two tiers on the DTS format, but with some still very decent drivers in this tier. Hello, Mark. Hello, Chris. I get to comms over you, mate. You ready? Inbound curses. Dear PGR God, please let all the teams finish below us. No. Yeah, Diablo answered that question for you. Right, in round 1, it was Bab that took P1. Or Vanterblade. Vanterblade had a very strong week for the first round of DTS. Clear leaders at the moment in the Constructors' Championship. And it was Matt F1 who races for Monster Energy Progen Mercedes F1 team. They got P2. And I think Rattigan was running P2 before the end of the race. I think there was contact which allowed Matt through on the final lap, which promoted him to P2, and Rattigan that finished P3. So if you want to enjoy something, you need to listen to the first 2 minutes of my current stream. Plev just pissing in the background. Nice. I'll make sure to watch back. Evening, Lanny. How are you, mate? I hope it's like the full shebang, though, Diablo. Now you've said it. It's like I can hear it trickling out and everything. To finish off the top 10, it was Magnetex that got P4, Cold Steel for Vanterblade, so both Vanterblade cars in the turbo shaking everything. Nice. But yeah, Cold Steel with P5, that's 2 cars in the top 5 of Vanterblade to start off the season. Mark got P6 for Williams BMW, Bass and P7, who races for Rump's team, which is Monarch Racing, Jumbo John P8 for Sentinel Racing Technology, Hilly P9, who's also for Progen Mercedes. That's the only other team that got 2 cars in the top 10. And Callum rounded out the top 10. 10. That's for the constructor standings. Pretty easy with just the one race gone so far, and obviously with the transfer points included, it is Vanterblade with a 46-point advantage over Kinetic Racing, which is Konski's team. It's Progen in third place with 84 points, Erdogram on their debut season with 80, and Sentinel, one of the 3 experienced teams on the grid. Well, one of 4 technically. Monarch has done multiple seasons, but they're on 72 points. But with 10 rounds still to go, that's probably going to change about 200 times, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to that at the moment. But Vanterblade are obviously showing themselves to be the team to beat, especially after that first round performance. Sure, we've got ourselves a full grid. It'll cost you. It will cost you 20 points from Jaguar Nvidia. I mean, you are the most expensive driver in this tier, Diablo. 20p. 20p doesn't buy you anything nowadays. What, for free, Mag? Ah, cheers, mate. Hopefully. That elite race looked like carnage. I think that is a threat, Diablo, yeah. While we wait, should we ask ChatGPT for some boring Abu Dhabi facts? Facts. I'm pretty sure that's incorrect, ChatGPT. Accordingly, the Formula 1 lap record at the Yas Marina circuit is a 1 minute 39.283. Hello, Rage. Hey, it's not my fault, Chris. I did everything I need to do. That's what ChatGPT said, yeah. I like how it talks about all the redesign, but then it gives me a lap record from 2019, which is before the redesign. There is Jay in the lobby. We've got 20 people, so I would assume so. He's a reserve, yep. The countdown is on. Soon to be starting. Hopefully I'm a little bit less rusty than what I was doing Legacy at the weekend. It was bad yesterday, yeah, very bad. I was host and basically desynced completely. Everyone was lagging, and then I had 2 disconnects. I think there was about 7 drivers that disconnected at once yesterday. In Masters, I think Champs had a lot of issues as well. Yeah, it was a mess yesterday. I got Zoltan, I got into the lobby, it kicked me out because we had to reset qualifying, it kicked me out on the grid, so I had to run a default setup yesterday. I managed P5 somehow. P5 with I got kicked out for an entire lap as well, and I got jeez. Honestly, it was a drive of my life, mate. I think I've never driven a race that well. What will be the slowest time, Calamast? I've got no idea on the lower bracket pace. I won't lie. I'm gonna go for like a 1:25.5. I think that's really harsh, but that's your benchmark. I reckon pole will be high 23s. I reckon we'll see like a 23.7 pole. So you've got some expectations to hit someone. I reckon it'll be... That Bab is very good round Abu Dhabi. Session? Oh, it's John binned it on the pit lane. I think John has just binned it on the exit of the pit lane. That is not the start that Sentinel wanted whatsoever. Now we've got a kinetic car in the front first out, that's Callum, so we'll jump on board. Let me know if we need to turn down the what's it face. Desktop audio if it's too loud, the engine noise, that is. This looks like it is a little bit loud, so just let me know if it's all good or not. Yep, I'll turn it down then. Is that better? Callum is about to start the first flying lap that we've got of this session. He's got plenty of clear track in front and behind him, so yeah, no worries, mate. So he's going to set the benchmark and uses a lot of battery already to start off the lap. Oh, I've just pressed the wrong button. See, already rusty on the commentary. To an overtake as well on the exit of turn 2 into turn 3. He's used a lot of battery already in the first sector. It's an 18.1 first sector. I pressed the wrong button again. Down the first of the 2 long straights on the Yas Marina circuit, and I think he's bailed on his lap. No, he's just opting to not use overtake for some reason. There's a lot of time on the cards already for Callum, unless he has bailed on his lap and he's just recharging his battery. Nope, he's over, so he just chose to not overtake. It is different to see how different drivers use the battery across a single lap. Callum middle sector split, it's obviously purple. 54.4. Now it's the windy section of the final sector. He's got plenty of battery to play with, so it's not like he's going to run out of battery at any point. Locked up the brakes a little bit there going into turn 12, I think it is. Turns 13 and 14, the left-hander underneath the hotel section, and now it's the 2 final fast right-handers. Well, this one's not a fast right-hander, sorry, but don't invalidate over the line, and it's a 25.8 for Callum, so I'm going to say that that time is going to get royally beaten. And it does. Haytham goes a 25.4. Rage is only a 26.8. Although he looks like that was just a warm-up lap. As Baston smashes the time out of the park and Rattigan goes 24.0, so we're already nearly into the 23s. I think Bab is about to finish his lap. He is. Bab's one to watch. And a 23.2. 23.2 from Bab is already 5 tenths quicker than anyone else so far. It's 5 tenths quicker than his teammate. Oh, John. I saw the DNF and I thought, has he binned it in the pit lane? Unfortunate, mate. Hello, Manic. How are we, mate? How's the holiday? Is boy on a recharge? Yes, he is, so he's not on a lap. Craig is on a lap. He's currently burnt his entire battery. I think Hilly's about to cross the line, so we'll jump on board with Hilly. And it's a low 1 minute 24, puts him up to P5. Craig is the next car, I think, about to finish a lap. Craig in 25.7. He's just been put down to P12 as I don't know who finished their lap just. No, not Magnatex. Someone's done a Rage set a new lap. That's what it was. So Chris has invalidated his lap. He's on a very slow in lap, it looks like, at the moment. And we'll jump on board with Mark, who's just started his flying lap, going through turn 1 into turns 2 and 3 now, with a bit of overtake usage there, using a lot of battery in the first sector, obviously to maximise that first sector time. It's a 17.4 in the first sector, it's a purple first sector. So he gets all out of shape, under braking. He's going to get a perfect toe now off his teammate, who is Holden. So very nicely done by the Williams BMW team. Holden now just needs to get out of the way if he can. He does, so it's a nice little work toe for Mark there. We can see what he do out of the chicane now with battery. And Holden's going to give him a second piece of toe, although they've not timed the second toe as good as the first. Well, Holden was going to send one down Mark's inside at that point, but it's a purple sector again, it says, but I think it's slower than what Bab's there, so this could be looking like a high 23s at the moment for Mark. He's got 0% on his battery, using his battery where he can use it. Now underneath the hotel walkway section, find a few corners to go, 2 right-handers now, don't drop it on the curb, ride that curb on the left-hand side, and now it's one final corner, hit the apex and ride that outside curb as much as possible. It's a run to the line, it's P2 for Mark of a 23.5. Still 3/10 off Bab's pace at the moment. Our braking board's missing on that right hand side with how close they are to track limits. It's a very nice looking car from the People's Racing team, I would admit. Jay looks a little bit, he's a 52.9, that's a couple of attempts down from Mark's middle sector time, middle sector split. So Jay looks like he's currently on course for around a high 23 himself, depending on what he can unleash in this final sector. Has he got more pace than what competitors around him have got? It's very safe on the exit of turns 14. It's just a run to the line, and it is a high 23 to 23.7. It puts him up to P3, but it's 5/10 off Bab, who is the benchmark still at the moment. So we catch Pin, straight line in the chicane. On a lap at the moment. Craig's just finished his lap, he's done a 25.3, and now Callum's starting his second flying lap of the session. Yeah, that's mental. Callum and Craig working the toe, helping each other where they can. Craig gets out of the way a little bit early, but Callum will still benefit from a little bit of a toe. He's going to get his braking point in the chicane. It's a bit wide on all the apexes and on the exit. It's not the greatest chicane from Callum, but he's got traffic in front of him. I think there's 2 Vanterplay cars in front. They need to make sure to not impede Callum on his flying lap. Whoever this lead car is needs to get out of the way now. And yeah, both out of the way nice and early, so that's nicely done from the Vanterblade team. And now Callum's got this final sector to go. Slow, gimmicky section. He's got plenty of traffic on this lap, and he's just invalidated as well, so that's probably him going to come into the pits. It's Beefy Boys on his lap. He's coming down the first of the 2 straights into the chicane. Brilliant camera angle from the game, but thank you very much. Down the second DRS train, we'll see his split time, and it's a 52.6. So again, Beefy's on at the moment for around about a high 23s, depending on his final sector time. But no one can seem to challenge Bab at the moment for pole. On the line on the exit, but he doesn't go over, so he doesn't invalidate, and now he's got one more corner to go, one more apex to hit. It's Epic runs quite wide, but he doesn't invalidate somehow, and he goes up to P3 with a 1:23.6. It's a very good lap from Beefy Boy in the end. Oh, who have we got on a lap at the moment? Diablo's on the back straight. The two Vanterblades are giving each other tow. Who's the lead car that's on a lap at the moment? It's not Bab. So that's Cold Steel currently on a lap. Cold Steel's currently 4 tenths down off his time at the moment, so he's not gained any time with that tow. He's got no battery left, so we might see him pull into the pits. And he's currently 2 tenths up, so he's on for a 1 minute 23.7. It's from Murdergram GP. Oh, cheers for the follow, Dan. Thank you, mate. And Lanny moves up to P6. He lost a little bit of time in the final sector, but he improves by 1/10.5 and he jumps up an extra position. And now he's going to give the reverse back to Magnetex as he starts his flying lap. Lanny's going to give him a beautiful tow down towards the chicane. Yellow flags, I think that's a people racing car going slowly. It's currently half a 10 foot, but that's not going to gain in any positions at the moment. The grid is very tight. But Diablo's finished his lap. He's moved up to P2 as that was a destruction of the straight marker board, Diablo. It's good, mate. Thank you. Very unexpected and out the blue, but what is going on here? Mark is grabbing a tow off every single driver that can get a tow off. Didn't see his split time actually. I think it was a 10th or so up, so he might be on course to beat Diablo's time and move himself up to P2, depending on the time that he's got in this final sector. But he runs a bit deep, it's a bit of a lock-up. That's going to compromise his entry now for turns 13. He's got to correct it for turns 14 now. Don't run wide, and he's ran wide and he's validated his lap. So he was, it looked like, I think it was a 10th or so up, but just lost that time. That very deep break at turn 12. So we've got the top 10 currently all in, well, top 11 now are in the 23s. It's currently Kinetic GP, or no, Kinetic GP? Kinetic Racing, I think it is, who are holding up the rear of the field, apart from John, who decided to take an early nap and bin his car into the pit lane wall so he can get onto his Chinese a bit quicker. Final lap. Jay's just finished his lap. We just caught the end of that. He's moved up to P3. He's 1 minute 23.4. So there's a couple of cars now getting within a couple of attempts, but Bab's time is still his banker time, I'm pretty sure. So you would imagine that he's got more time on the cards. Hamilton's on a lap. Cold Steel's just started his flying lap. He's not going to get a tow this time either, so this will be Cold Steel's final time of the session. Currently half a 10th up after the first sector, but how much time is he going to lose on the straight without that without the tow off Bab? Surely it's going to harm him, and surely he's not going to find the time that he set his first lap with. Deployed most of his batteries, recharging now with a bit of LICO into the chicane. Didn't see the first apex entry, hit the apex in the second, but he looked a little bit on the slower side. He'll burn all the battery that he's got left now. He's got nothing left in the tank, as Cold Steel. It's coming up to that middle sector split. And he's 10.5 down, so yeah, showing that without that tow, he's struggling to match the time that he's already set. This is the apex of turn 12 slightly, but not too bad. And very, very safe on the exit of turns 14, and he's got 2 more corners to go, turns 15, and now the final braking zone into turn 16. And he's slowed down, so he's going for a recharge to be able to go again. Perhaps 1.2 seconds faster than Wiggy. Yeah, that's like a... That's a lot. Botham's not on a lap. Craig is, but he's equal on his time. Craig coming, that's going to be his final run, and he gets himself down to a 25.1. He moves up a position, but unfortunately that's Craig's qualifying finish, unless he's got the fuel to recharge and go again. I've just pulled it up. I've just seen Bailey P6, Ben P14. Final runs to go. But yeah, if you want to update us, Manic, it saves me looking at my phone. So Callum's coming up to finish his final flying lap of the session. Can he beat his teammate? He can't. He can get ahead of Rob Williams, but he cannot beat his teammate. And it's P18 at best for Callum. P17 at best for the team of Kinetic. So clearly showing that they're slightly off the pace in the Verstappen division. Yeah, Pidge is very good on this game. He was quick in pre-season, Manic. Bab breaks into the 22s. 22.9. That's pretty good. I think Dragon is the first car. Who's the purple car? Is that Haytham? It is Haytham. So Haytham's going to be the next car to cross the line. He's a 10th down after the middle sector split. Coming across the line now. He doesn't improve. He's 8 tenths down. So that's Haytham's qualifying finished. P12 at best for Haytham. Cold Steel's qualifying finish is P6 at best for him. After a strong first lap, he really just struggled to show any level of pace. I think Ratigan is... Yeah, so Ratigan's the next car. Then I think it's Delta. And then it's Hilly, because Beefy Boy has already done his lap. Ratigan's in the pit, so he's not up on his time at the moment. What's Delta on at the moment? He's got one more corner to go. Final corner, he's got a full battery, so he's not on a lap. Jump on board with Hilly then, who is on a lap. No, he's not. He's also into the pits. So everyone at the moment on their final flying laps are struggling to improve, it looks like. Magnatex is coming around the final corner. He's going to finish a lap. Can he improve on his P11? He can. He jumps up to P6 with a 123.7. Pin goes up to P9 with a 123.8. Got a white car about to cross the line. That's either Mark or Colden. It's Mark. He doesn't improve. He stays P4. Next car to cross the line, that's Basson. He's in P13 with a 124.1. We've got a red car about to cross the line. I think that is Rob Williams. And it is. He stays in P19. He's unable to improve. Diablo runs wide. He's on an outlap. What? He was at the cross the line. I don't know who it was. We've got one more car. JM's into the pits, is he? Yes, JM's into the pits. And it's Atham just getting across the line. And that'll be our qualifying finish. Ab on pole by 4.5. Basically 5 tenths at this point. To Diablo and JM. Bab's time's P4 in the other division as well. That's mental. Bab's quicker than that dude Jack. Oh my god, there's a car in the wall. That's Lemons. Oh my god, he's spun. Lemons is mudded. Lemons in the mud. Squad's going crazy. Right, let's see what tyres everyone's on. Everyone on mediums except for Rob Williams, who's on hards. Lovely. I think we're going to see a mix of 1 and 2 stops tonight. There's going to be a number of drivers who are going to struggle on tyre wear and are going to have to force themselves onto a 2-stop. Backed up by the strategy guide that should come up. No one's going to do the 3-stop. When Zoltan's talking to you, Manic, it looks like you're talking to yourself because it's basically, you know, F1 Power Grid and then F1 PGR. Yeah, with them 10 lap, the 10-second a lap quicker softs, yeah. Rattigan's touched someone. He's just reset himself to track. Apologies, I'm just sweet. Ah yes, you like the Temu PGR, yeah? Or is Temu too cheap? Is it like Sheen, is it? There's like, it's a Chinese brand, isn't it? Whoa. So let's see who can park and who can't park, shall we? Rage can't park, he's just DSQ'd himself. What a terrible camera angle. And Craig's also DSQ'd, so 2 people can't park. That sounds good as a Temu team suggestion. But we've got 3, 4 and now 5 red lights, and it is lights out and away we go. They went out very quickly, and Bab looks like he's got a pretty decent start, but Diablo's got himself alongside on the inside into turn 1, and Diablo's taken the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. JM's off track. As Mark's looking down the inside, there's a bit of carnage down at the back. It looks like there's a car swapping and changing positions, but actually everyone's got through turn 1 okay without any damage. But Diablo with the perfect start, but Bab now down the inside, oh my god, loses it under braking. This is already a chaotic start. We've got more movement down the back. There's about cars 3, 4 wide, it looks like, down the straight. There's cars all over the place. It's like an F3 race with the amount of cars that are going on. Bab has moved himself and slingshotted back into the lead of the race. Mark's lost the position to Beefy Boy. He's going to be later on the brakes if he can. And now he's going to get the inside line on the chicane. Oh, and he clobbers that inside, and that's allowed Beefy to stay ahead, and that's allowed Magnatex as well. But that may have been an overtake under yellow flags. Maybe I may have to give that one up. But he's not, so he must have been ahead or alongside before the yellows come out. And now Mag and Beefy Boy are going side by side, wheel to wheel through the right-hander, and Mag's moved himself up into P4. There's more movement at the back. As Rage, I think it was up there, he's dropped quite a few positions off the start of this race. I think everyone's got away without getting damaged. There's Pin is currently down in P40 and he's just been overtaken by Bassin. I wonder whether he's got damage or not, because I'm pretty sure he started higher up. But everyone seems to be okay, and it's Bab who leads us away at the end of lap 1. Diablo took the lead very early on, but Bab was able to just slingshot his way back into the lead, and whether he can break away and cause a break in this overtake train, as it's now called. A bit of first lap chaos and carnage. It seems to have settled down, and I say that Hilly looked like he was going to make a move down the inside of Lanny. I think he was just sizing him up, getting him to be defensive for a corner that he doesn't want to be defensive on, and Lanny's completely out of battery. Hilly's got a bit of battery to work with, and I think you can see that as he closes down that gap. But can he get himself alongside? Can't, as he Lyco manages to get extra battery, but runs a bit deep with Hilly, and that compromises him for the entire line through the chicane. And Cold Steel's going to see that, and he's going to think, I can get a move on now. Get a move on Hilly. He can get alongside coming up to turn 10. It's much later on the break, and Cold Steel hits the back of Hilly. That was completely self-inflicted. Cold Steel now has dropped 3 positions after that contact. I think he's gotten away with getting damaged, but he was way too late on the brakes, and he just hit the back of Hilly, and that's cost him. And there's a spin at the back. That's John. It's going from bad to worse for John. He's got no wing, and we've got a virtual safety car. PSC at least is going to save John's race somewhat, that he can pit, get rid of that damage, and at least not lose as much time. But his race is effectively over unless he gets a full course safety car at this point. But anything can happen. It's always worth carrying on, especially in DTS as well, with all the teams scoring points for the end of the season. The VSC has ended. No one's got a drive through, but the top 3 managed a 1 second gap on Magnatex and P4. Oh dear. Magnatex, if he can, will be looking to close that gap down as much as he can on this lap, so he gets... I don't have the telemetry. Gap's currently at 2nd. There's another break coming on as well, as Mark and Hilly are going side by side. Hilly makes a move around the outside of Mark. That's a great little overtake, and that's moved him up to P7. Mark seems to be struggling in the early stages of this race. He's dropped from P4 down to P8 now. And is he running damage, or is he managing the tyres, managing battery, managing the tyres to do that 1 stop? Because I think we're going to see a mix of 1 to 2 stops tonight. Baba in front is taking command. I think Diablo's just kept himself in the 2nd, so he's got the added recharge, the added power of the battery modes, but does he even have the raw pace to be able to keep up with Bab? That's the question. Whether that Magnatex wasn't able to get even the 2nd of JM over, so he hasn't got the added ERS power that what Beefy Boy has got. Beefy Boy will be eyeing up an overtake within the next lap or so. We are seeing brakes in the train form. As Mark's looking for a move down the inside of Hilly, slightly later on the brakes. Give each other space. Mark never really got himself alongside, but now he's going to focus on the exit, get as much of a good exit as possible he can. He's got more ERS power, I think, than what Hilly's got. He's going to try around the outside. Hilly's defending that inside line, which is what he's got to do. Mark sails around the outside. Hilly defends the inside line. A bit of steel wheel to wheel, and Hilly's managed to defend the position. That's a great bit of racing from these two. And Mark opts to try and force it 2 wide into turn 12, and to try again on the next lap. Yeah, as expected, Barber's already pulled that plug. Pulled the plug? Pulled the pin. Out in front at 26.9 race tree. It's 1.2 seconds quicker than Diablo on that lap. He's about to bin it into the wall then. All out of shape coming out of turn 1. Texas got himself within the 2nd, but he's got no ERS power left. With obviously more recharge, Magnatex is out of battery, and I think this is going to be an easy overtake for Beefy Boy. If he uses a bit of battery here, doesn't opt to, but he's alongside. Oh, camera angle, give us the worst camera angle possible, why don't you? Beefy, they both give each other space, but on the inside he's not where you want to be in the chicane, and Mag holds on to the position, but again he's out of battery once more. Beefy's burning more battery this time to try and get himself, he switches to the inside this time. I think it's the move, but Mag does the old switcheroo down the inside. They are now too wide as we come up to turn 10. Mag is out of battery once more. Beefy's got that bit more battery to work with, and he gets himself ahead as they go into turn 12. I feel we've got a big old train, currently the Lanny train at the moment, and he's got the 1 second on Mag, so he must have been a second through the detection point. He's got the added recharge. See another round of battling going on here. It's going to be the reverse of what just happened on the last lap. Magnatex has got more battery than Beefy Boy this time. He's going to deploy all the battery that he's got, and he swoops ahead into back into P4. So many drivers running with no ERS power at the moment. On the inside of Callum, or was he defending? But either way, I think he moves up to P13. So most positions gained at the moment. Colden's up 5 to cap off a good start to his race. Hilly's up 4, as is Basson and Callum. They're all up 4. Biggest losers at the moment. Pintita's down 10 places. He has pitted. And Cold Steel, after that contact, he's down 5 places, and Mark's down 4 from P4. Yes, out in front, Bab is 2.8 seconds ahead now, absolutely flying away. As Lanny comes in, so Lanny already committing then to that 2-stop strategy that I said we was going to see tonight, and we are. So how many cars are going to swap to the 2-stop? As Pin picks up the first 3-second time penalty of the session. Ratigan is alive more than normal, or longer than usual, sorry, should I say. It's about to be a move further on down. Cold Steel has got more batteries, got alongside and ahead of Rage. Rage is trying down the inside though. That's bold, that's brave, and he's made it work. Cold Steel's got more battery than what Rage has got, but Rage has got enough, I think, to be able to defend on this straight. Got a spin. Pigeon spun and the other... Oh, there is damage. There is multitudes of damage. Oh my god. That was definitely green car, orange car, and maybe even the purple car of Basson. All 3 cars, I think, have just picked up wing damage. Got a terrible camera angle, so I cannot see. But yeah, Ratigan has got half a wing. Basson has not got damage. Hilly's into the pit, so he's having to swap, I think, to that 2-stop strategy. Unless he can nurse them hards to the end of the race. But Ratigan's got half a wing, so there's obviously been contact between Hilly and Ratigan at some point. And I'm pretty sure there was another car that picked up damage as well. It may be Colden. No, Colden's okay. But it did look like 3 pieces of front wing came off, and yeah, Ratigan's got bad front wing damage. Further on ahead, we've just switched in time for this. 2 wide between Beefy Boy and Magnatex. Magnatex using all the battery that he's got. Gets himself back ahead of Beefy Boy, so he moves himself back up into P4, but all the time they're fighting, they're losing more and more time. They are in kind of like the race of their own at this point now. Diablo and JM have pulled away, so they're looking like P2 and P3 odds on. Elton's the second driver to pick up a 3-second time penalty. Ratigan is. That surely is damage enough to pit, and yeah, he's into the pits. Probably going to see Ratigan making a front wing change. Whether he does the one stop or switches to the two stop now, as been forced into the pits earlier, we'll see as the race progresses. Round 5 it looks like, actually, between Beefy Boy and Magnatex. Not to burn the battery, so he's going to sit behind through the chicane, recharge a lot more, get that battery offset that he needs to make a move on Magnatex, or just recharge the battery as much as possible, and on the next lap burn it all to get through and try and brake this time, rather than just overtake it. But Mark has settled himself down after the start where he lost a few positions. He's currently sitting in P6 in his own race. There's a spin at the chicane, it looks like. That's Rob Williams who's had a spin at the chicane. He's got going again. But he's basically dropped to net last on track at this point. So he could be going at it the entire race, the way they're going. Nothing to split these two drivers at the moment. As Rage and Colden are into the pits at the end of lap 9, so that's 20 laps on the hards. That's a bit of a stint, especially if the mediums are already that cooked. Looking at like lap 11, lap 10, I think ideally lap 11. The hard compound tyres to the end of the race, so we'll see how he can manage them to the end or not. Race now has just nullified itself somewhat. Not really on the back of Rage. Yeah, Rage pitted. It's about at the back of the field at the moment for people that have been pitted, and then Diablo and JM, where JM can't seem to overtake, or if he's choosing to not overtake. And then you've got Boy and Magnatex, who have been battling all race so far. Just feel like he was going to go into the pits, but he faked a bit of a pit entry, it looked like. Manny on the back of Craig as well at the moment. There's an absolute drain of cars here. But this is the harm of the two-stop. You get stuck in this traffic and just end up not going anywhere. You lose more time than what it's worth. Rob Williams is into the pits. I think Pin's pitted as well, hasn't he? Yeah, he pitted very early. The Ratigan does set the fastest lap of the race, but look at the traffic he's got to get through. And Hilly makes an opportunistic move, and he got down the inside of Pin, and he makes it stick. I think Pin still got damage? He has, that's why he slides. So Pin's boxed early, I think, to repair wing damage, and it's not even repaired it, so that'd be why I think he's struggling as such. Hilly's made an opportunistic move, and he's gone. Managed to get through, and now he can bolt away from this battle. Rage that makes an absolute send. Calder makes an absolute send from the outside. Got terrible camera angles once again. We'll jump aboard with Pin. Pin just lost 2 places down that straight. Both Calder and Rage very, very brave on the brakes, and they managed to make the move stick. Now Rage is going to go down the inside of Calder. Calder gives that place up, so Rage back himself back into P14. Calder P15, Bab and Diablo are in. Beefy Boy stays out, Magnatex comes in, JM stays out, so he's going to do an extra lap on these medium compound tyres. Mark chooses to stay out as well. Cold Steel stays out. Got yellow flag, that is a spin. That's for Pintita. Is that a safety car? That's a virtual safety car. So anyone that's just pitted now, a little bit of an advantage if they were still in the pit lane. That's why that shorter pit lane time. I don't think Bab benefited from it because he was already out the pits by the time the VSC come out. I don't think the VSC is going to hold up for anyone else to pit. I imagine it's going to end very shortly. There it is, and Delta gets a drive-through penalty, so he wasn't able to manage his speed in the pits. To the Delta oh my god, I can't speak properly. Would imagine people that haven't pitted, JM, Beefy Boy, Mark, Cold Steel. JM stays out for another lap. Beefy Boy comes into the pits. I'd imagine Mark's going to come into the pits as well, and I would say Cold Steel will at 2. Cold Steel stays out. Pintita binned it into the wall. I think he spun exit of turn 14. Front wing damage, I assume, and obviously the debris caused a VSC. Yeah, race to forget for Pin, I think. Diablo is currently getting past Haytham, who hasn't pitted yet. Because Beefy Boy's just come out just behind Magnitex, so he's not lost a whole bunch. Considering oh god, boxed the pit. Oh my god. Mag boxed the lap before. Oh, John, what have you done now, mate? And Beefy Boy's got himself into P7 now. And he's on that 2-stop. Haytham's not boxed yet. Cold Steel or JM hasn't boxed yet, so we're just waiting for the grid just to sort itself back out. James into the pits. Oh, Beefy Boy's on medium, so he didn't change his tyres on the strategy, so he's going to have to box it again. Hard compound tyres. Rage gets the fastest lap of the race from 1:26.4, so it's good pace from Rage at the moment. Everyone's made a pit stop, and the likes of Lanny, Beefy Boy, maybe Hilly, Raggan, and Rob Williams are all going to have to box again. Stretch his tyres to the end, it'll be an amazing feat of tyre management. It's got a lot of laps still to go. See what he's capable of doing. Painful for Beefy Boy because he stretched out them tyres to do the 1-stop, and he's obviously not switched the tyre compound on his MFD. Got great pace at the moment on the medium compound tyres. Unfortunately, he's going to have to box again. Bab annihilates the fastest lap. Beats it by 6 tenths, I think it was. Oh, and Beefy Boy picked up damage, front wing damage, and he spun. Keeps it out the barrier at least, so he doesn't DNF, but the race now has gone from a manageable one to potential disastrous one. He's probably going to have to come into the pits now and change that front wing and get those hard compound tyres on so he can go to the end of the race. Callum and Rattigan are going at it now. That's for P12 on track. Callum's actually looks like he's made the move and he's holding the move. He's keeping that P12 from Rattigan. I reckon Beefy Boy will... Yeah, she's the head of the accountant team now. You know. Yeah, Beefy Boy comes into the pit, so he's going to repair that front wing damage. Probably get those hard compound tyres on, which he was probably aiming to put on when he first made his pit stop. Yeah, so it's just a recovery at this point now for Beefy Boy and whatever positions he can get back. Hopefully a safety car brings him back into the race a little bit and he can gain some positions. Head of finances. My car's just took an absolute battering today, mate. Absolute battering. Mark's currently trying to catch up Lanny, who is on the 2-stop. So close as well. We've got Colden on the back of Bassen. Colden's actually running a pretty good race at the moment. Showing a decent turn of pace on the new F1 2026 game, yeah. I agree. It's actually, I think over a lap it's still a work in progress, but in the race it looks considerably more impressive. He's in P10 at the moment. He's got that 3-second penalty, unfortunately. But yeah, 3 seconds, but 3-second gap to Callum at the moment. He's actually running for a P10 finish. I'm sure Colton's valued at 1 million, and it will correct me if that's wrong. He's on for a very, very strong result considering his price bracket. Mark makes the move on Lanny, completely battery assisted, had more battery, more straight line speed. We've got yellow flags. That is Rattigan. Manic cursed him. Oh, he's in the pit lane. What in God's name? Did Rattigan come in the pits again? He must have done. Oh dear. Lanny's into the pit, so Lanny, one of the ones on that 2-stop strategy, will be putting on a second set of hard compound tyres and he'll be on full beam push. Going to get out ahead of Hafer. It's not worked out too bad for Lanny. He's got some clean air to run those tyres into and just see what kind of position he can get back at. But Hassan's trying to move down the inside on Hilly. Hilly obviously on them older hard compound tyres. I think he's done 10 laps on them already. Looking at the decision of can he get these tyres to the end? Does he need to box? He needs to box. Just do it sooner rather than later, so you just gain more time in terms of actual track time. If you think you can't get them to the end, if you can, obviously just carry on as you are and just manage it as best as possible. Dragon gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane and is our first DNF of the session. Is that manning number 102? Or is it not? Or is it Tuck that's leading the DNF count? Ah, unfortunate rat. I saw you got damage, Illy. Was that a disconnect or was that contact? This Gauss is getting tips from the comms. Press the accelerate pedal to go fast, press the brake pedal to go slow, turn the wheel to go around corners, and press the battery mode. So what you need to do is press the accelerate pedal to go quicker. Really, I don't think he's trying to line up and move on Bassan. I think he's just trying to keep with Bassan and get that added battery boost. Aces doesn't seem too bad at the moment. Quicker than Colden, who's the car behind. Cold Steel's coming at a rate of knots, and Manning's on that 2-stop. So he's going to be catching up as well. Top 6 really are all split on like 1+ seconds, so there's nothing going on top 6 at the moment. Bab is cruising out in front. JM's catching up to Diablo, so we could see that battle for P2 reopen up towards the final section of this race. He is in time trial, he's cruising. Dragon, no! I'm guessing he had a wheel disconnect in the pit lane as well, because I think he went straight on the exit. Like, not even through the tunnel, just went straight on into the wall. I'm assuming Hilly's going to the end of the race. Considering he chose to not box yet, and he's keeping up with Bassan at the moment, so yeah, I think that is that little wiggle. I think he is going to the end of the race. But the pace at the moment is pretty good from Hilly. He's probably looking at a P9 finish, worst case, I think. It's the closest battle on track at the moment. There's not really much going on. It's not really a battle either, because Hilly's just using Bassan's pace and just sticking with him. Just keeps himself in the overtake at the moment. He's just about staying in. Beefy Boy on the back of Haytham. I think that's now the closest battle on track. It's just so is how split the grid is at the moment. Not a lot going on. We had our early excitement at the start of the race, the first few laps, and now it's just called itself off somewhat. Battery is tough. It's hard to manage. It's one of them where it's actually quicker to manage your battery and go slower than it is to go full beams all the time. Especially in qualifying, I've found I've done laps where I felt like I've driven the rails off the car, but because my battery management's been crap, yeah, you can't. It's not allowed. Yeah, I found that I've pushed hard on laps. Felt like I've had like one of the greatest laps that I've done, and it's 5/10 slower than a lap where I'm Lyco-ing and managing my battery better. But anyway, Beefy is, thought he was going to make a move on Haytham, but he hasn't made it yet. He's got considerably more battery, this Beefy Boy at the moment. Looking just to recover some points from this race after the early contact turn 1, which resulted in him getting front wing damage as well as bolting on the wrong compound tyres. More yellow flag. John is having an absolute mare in this race. Get off overtake, John. No wonder you've been in it all the time. Turn off your overtake mode. Oh my god, nearly binned it again. Yeah, maybe he heard me. Yeah. No wonder he's been in it all the time. He slapped it in overtake. Oh, there's a move going on. Beefy's down the inside of Haytham. Haytham trying to fight back. Beefy should use more battery. He doesn't. But Haytham's drained his entire tank and now... Yeah, easy. The Beefy boy. Blast pass with more battery. Haytham's going to try and fight back down the inside if he can, but I don't think he can. And allow Beefy to gobble up Haytham as such and move himself up to P12. And he's making some inroads on them new compound tyres. And Cold Steel's just got past Colden, who's having a pretty good race. Colden still running in that P10 position. Oh, John. Another spin for John in the chicane. Basson's overtaken Rage as well. Is Rage struggling? Rage got a fuel warning light still at the moment. It's also on 13 old lap hard compound tyres. I would for Mooney as well, Scouts, don't worry. Mooney in the mud. Mooney's currently P7 in the other division. John's in the pits. I think he's going for a new set of tyres. Nope. He listened to your advice, Scout. He couldn't be asked anymore and is DNF'd. Oh, yeah, oof. Rage is currently on the back of Basson. He's picked up his pace a little bit somewhat as Rage. Hilly will be hoping he can just hang on to the back of these if he can. Just keep that 1 second. I think he's lost. Oh my god, and he has spun. Pushing hard was Hilly, and I think he's into the pits. That spin, I think, was the final straw for Hilly, and he has to switch to that 2-stop. Probably just bought on a set of mediums. Unlucky, John. Just report everything, mate. Yeah, he tried to get to the end, but I think it was just a step too far for him. And he's got new tyres now. I'm assuming new medium compound tyres have been put on. Should get past Pin quite easily and just see whether he can get the likes of Callum and Haytham before the race ends. He will have considerable tyre advantage. Why is that flagged? Oh, it's because it's Cook. Uncooky. Good. Yeah, I know, yeah, Twitch moaning about you being a cookmaster. I have noticed as well, JM is caught up to the back of Diablo, but once again, hasn't been able to overtake. Now, whether this is just Jay charging up that battery and going for a move on the last couple of laps, but for the entire first stint, he's on the back of Diablo's 1 second overtake zone as such. Wasn't able to make a move, and I think this is strategy related for JM at the moment. I think he's recharging that battery. Burning now. Yeah, I think Diablo at the moment is just doing enough with the battery and with the speed that he's got just to keep Jay behind. As Rage has made a move on Basson, he's back up into P6 now. And Lanny coming up onto the back of BGR Cold Steel for P8. Basson at the moment is up 8 positions. Biggest move of Rage is up 6 and Colden's up 6 at the moment. Colden on for P10. Wrong buttons. Still, Jay again, he's not burning his battery. Sitting behind Diablo. Charging up that battery, getting a little bit of extra charge. Billy gets the fastest lap of the race with a 25.9. He's already onto the back of Callum, so yeah, P12 I think isn't out of the cards for Billy. The pace that he's got at the moment. He has. He's a reserve scout, so it's, I think, reserve does, I know we try and want to get people with the right badge. I think reserves are normally more exempt than 10 seconds to lock on. At 27 now, and JM's going to be fed up with seeing green rear wing. Jay again not opting to use more battery to try and close that gap. Callum gets 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Jay's now up to 100% battery, but Diablo, because Jay's not been pushing hard enough, Diablo's now been able to recharge his battery as well. I think he is, but he needs to attack more now to burn Diablo's battery. It's pointless having 100% battery if the opponent's got 100% as well. He needs to force Diablo to burn more battery on lap 28. Because look, he's on 100%, but Diablo's basically on 90% himself, and Jay's got the extra recharge. And it's the extra 2 megajoule of recharge, is it, or something like that? But he can't seem to really get close enough. Yeah, he needs to push now. He moves himself up to P12 and we move on. Hey, we've got a couple of battles. We've got Lanny on the back of BGR Cold Steel, Rage on the back of Basson, but we're going to stick on board with JM and Diablo. But once again, JM's just too far back. Diablo's can just manage his battery. Jay needs to push like hell here. But again, look, he's 5 tenths back. He's not gaining enough. So Diablo just able to Lyco so much earlier and basically get the battery back that he uses this lap. Perfect management from Diablo in all things considered. But I don't think Jay's just got the pace to be able to make an overtake. Once again, coming into this slow section, both of them, I mean, Jay's about to get a reach 100%, Diablo on 80% again. Jay needs a good run out of the final corners. start this final lap. Bab has already started the final lap. He's having an absolute great race. Yeah, look, that gap's already increasing. Diablo's increased that gap to 6/10, and it gives him the breathing room that he needs, that he can manage his battery. Yeah, Jay needs to push harder now. Oh, there's a spin. That's Lana who's had a spin. I think fighting PGR Cold Steel. Diablo, for the first time, he runs a little bit deep. And now that's going to give the opportunity to Jay. He needs to burn. Diablo has got considerably less battery now. Jay's got more battery than what Diablo's got. If he can close up the gap, he doesn't have to get alongside here. He might choose to. But this is what it is. He's putting Diablo under pressure. Diablo slightly later on the brakes. Once again, he goes a little bit deep. And now this is the opportunity that Jay's got. Could have done with a little bit of a better exit. There's a red car in front. I did get him out of the way as well. But I think that exit has just compromised a little bit. That exit speed from Jay. He bins it, but yeah, that's it. That's that battle done. I think Diablo's got it covered, but Bab is coming around the final few corners. He's had an absolute cruise of a race. He lost the lead at the first corner, got it back, and that's Bab takes the win of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Diablo's going to come round to take P2. JM bins it into the wall for P3, and Magnatex is going to come round for back-to-back P4s for Murdergram GP. Mark had a proper race on his own. He's going to finish in P5. We've got a battle going on here still. Basson on the back of Rage. Can he get alongside and ahead? Basson nearly dropped it, coming around the final few corners, but it's going to be Rage who finishes P6. Basson is going to get P7. There's a car dead on the straight. Cold Steel is going to get P8. And he's going to come across in P9. Coldham for P10. Beefy Boy's P11. But I think Hilly jumps himself up to P10 with the penalties for Coldham and Beefy Boy. Haytham finishes P13. Callum P14. And then Pin P15. Delta P16. Craig is going to be P17. And Rob Williams P18. Yes, well done, Mag. And driver of the day. You know what? I'm going to give driver of the day. I know there's you could argue that the front three, but they're clearly three strong drivers in this tier. I'm going to give it to Colden, driver of the day. I know he finished outside the top 10 in the end, but the pace that he set in the race, it's impressive, and it's nice to see that a driver who, on the last game, I think it would be safe to say himself, was off the pace somewhat. A back marker. He's put himself into the midfield on this game. It's nice to see him running quite well. And without the penalty, he would have been P10. I think that's deserved. But congratulations to Bab. A much easy win. And Diablo and Jay on the podium in P2 and P3. Just report everything, Pin. That's all you can do, mate. Cheers, Gauss. Thanks for joining, mate. Keeping us company at the end when it was getting a bit boring until the last few laps. Much appreciated. Yeah, I'll see you Sunday, mate. Hello, Chris. Cheers, Rum. Thank you, mate. Chris is gone. Yeah, you drove a great race, Chris. Well done, mate. But I'll leave you all to it. He was. Poor Jay. Enjoy the evening, guys. For having us. And we'll be back next week for... Yes, I'm currently in the process of downloading the update. I've just not been in at the moment. But I'll see probably most of you, or a lot of you, next week for round 3. I think, which is it? Where is it at? Britain. It won't be done tonight, I'll tell you that. I know, mate. I've barely been in the house at the moment. But I'll catch you guys in it. I'll catch you guys later anyway. See you all next week.
Don't look back, it's you and I. We're here tonight. Raise your hands and make me reach the stars. Feel the sparkle in the air. It's everywhere. Don't know about you, but I'm getting what's mine. I got the power. The moment is ours.